Well, according to this headline from Yahoo Finance, Tesla struggling to start 2024. Please, Yahoo, tell us more.
It's one of corporate America's greatest success stories. A ubiquitous product, a world-famous CEO, and the strongest of footholds in its industry. For a while, Tesla was the only game in town. And it's safe to say that the sands are shifting. EV sales are losing momentum, competition in China is only getting stronger, and a string of recalls aren't helping confidence. Another
Oh man, well, we're 20 seconds in and already a load of BS. So what do we hear? EV demand was slowing down. Apparently it's safe to say that the competition has finally come, not all over themselves, but actually for Tesla. Tesla no longer the only game in town. It was in market share in the US, most recently over 50%. World's best-selling vehicle last year, Model Y sales increasing. Which new product release is the one that has become an A-list celebrity? Most recently, some shots of Lady Gaga entering her GM Cybertruck. Oh no, Ford Cybertruck. No, it was a Tesla Cybertruck. Which company has developed the charging standard and the supercharging network that everybody's signed on board with, including most recently Stellantis, one of the last holdouts? That would be Tesla. But please tell us more about Tesla no longer being the only game in town. I think the accurate title of this video is Yahoo Finance struggling to attract eyeballs and therefore more Tesla FUD is a guaranteed win. And hey, they're right. I mean, I'm covering it, so I can't argue. Their strategy is effective. Tesla plus negative equals attention, whether it's true or not.
date might be the fix there, but with shares down over 25% since the start of the year, it'll take more to reverse some negative Wall Street chatter. Tesla is known for brushing that off, but is this time different? Yahoo Finance spoke to the people in the know. Take a listen.
Tesla is set to resume operations at its Berlin factory after production was halted due to ongoing trade disruptions in the Red Sea. Yahoo Finance's Prasad Ramanian has more. So what's changed here?
So it seems like operations are back to normal there in Giga Berlin. A German publication spoke to a plant manager there and he said, quote, "The supply chains are intact again. Tesla has the necessary security that all necessary production parts are available in sufficient quantities to be able to fully restart." So at the end of January or so, they had to shut down production of the Model Y because they didn't have the right parts that couldn't get through that Red Sea, Suez Canal area because of the Houthi military strike. So it seems like they've gotten the parts back. They probably have to go around the Cape of Good Hope and think other kind of extreme ways to get these parts, but they have enough in sufficient quantity to build these parts. So like I said, it was down since the end of January. The plant was making at peak around 6,000 units a week of Model Y cars. So maybe lost from 10 to 20,000 units for that run, which isn't much considering the fact that Tesla made 1.8 million cars next year. But nonetheless, good news for a company that has seen its stock sort of get hammered recently for other various pieces of bad news.
Yeah, I meant to ask you about that because Dan Ives over at Wedbush, Prasad put out a note today saying, and obviously Ives, big Tesla bull, outperform on the stock, but he was saying, he's covered the name for a long time and just said the Tesla narrative, the Tesla story, he said, in his opinion, it's like the most negative he has now seen in years.
Yeah, and I think there's a call for 3 things he needs to change.
The board wants to,
the board should do right. So authorize a move to Texas, a new comp package, a couple other things to kind of get the narrative back and to get kind of the investors back on board. I mean, a big part of that is, and he's calling for Musk to get that 25% back in shares. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be the reason that's going to make the stock go up because of the fact that Musk has more shares.
But was that Pras kind of a reason though we saw things get negative? Yes, it was the print and the call and the worries about the EV market, but how much was that? Because Musk then said, listen, you give me 25% or I pick up my marbles and I go someplace else. My AI, robotics products, I'll go someplace else. I mean, that was part of it, right? That got people nervous.
Right, the possibility of maybe not him leaving, but taking that piece out and make it a private kind of which he has various private companies outside of Tesla. So the fear was that leaving that AI stuff, the Dojo stuff, all going, they want to keep that in the company.
Yeah. All right, we'll keep following it.
Yeah.
I think we're going to keep talking about it. Yeah. Thank you, Pras. Appreciate it.
Well, Tesla could be the latest company to slash its headcount in the new year. This is according to a report from Bloomberg. Yahoo Finance's Prasad Ramanian is joining us now. And it's not saying that the company is coming out right and saying it's cutting people, right?
No.
So just a quick interlude here. I'm going to cut out a bunch of the boring BS sections here, but what we're seeing here on Yahoo Finance is a montage of segments on Yahoo Finance that are extremely negative and FUDdy relating to Tesla. Whether or not they're true, irrelevant. What this video should really be titled is Yahoo Finance struggling to attract viewers' attention, therefore repeatedly running negative coverage around Tesla, rumors, hearsay, potentially lies, negative opinions, whatever it takes to get attention. an absolute FUD tsunami. Again, I don't blame them. If I was a dying outlet that nobody really watched, I'd be milking negative coverage of Tesla for all it was worth.
No, this is a possible email. I guess Bloomberg reporting an email went out to managers with a single line query if this employee's position was critical to each of their
that does seem like a pretty strong
So-
signal, if
Attention.
indeed.
So
yeah.
your attention.
seems like they're asking about that. Pretty harsh if this leads to sort of dismissals there. But the company has some big costs, right? They have about $10 billion in capex coming up this year, $4.5 billion in R&D. They have 140,000 employees, and they warned about kind of a slow growth phase in their earnings for the next year because of this potential for a new car. So I think there is some possible worry there if you're an employee, but I don't know if it's going to be a huge layoff, or I don't know what they're pondering here, but it's possible that they might kind of trim a little bit.
It wouldn't be that surprising if they were trimming, though. I mean, when you really, look at not just Tesla, but the broader market with demand is slowing, even with price cuts and margin impact, you wouldn't be shocked if you saw that headline drop.
Who is necessary to actually keep the thing running?
Yeah, it was brought up with X, like, are you with me or against me, right? Otherwise, just leave. You're going to work crazy hours or whatever term he used.
Yes.
I think that's part of what's happening.
Beast mode, I guess.
All right, Pras, thank you. Appreciate that update.
Switching gears here today, well, kind of. Tesla is off to a challenging start to the year. The EV maker facing tough financial conditions around slowing EV sales, and now there's a new investor concern over Elon Musk's governance. The Wall Street Journal pulling back.
Oh man, bro, this is killing me. I mean, I don't know how much I've cut out yet. I'm recording now. I haven't done the editing yet, but we're only a few minutes into this video by playtime at the 6-minute mark. FUD, and more FUD. It's like Tesla is the new orange man bad.
The curtain on Musk's alleged illegal drug use, as well as the personal and financial ties between Tesla directors and Musk. Here to discuss that report and what it means about Tesla's leadership, we have Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy lecturer and Picking Presidents author, Gautam Mukunda. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning. First and foremost, when you kind of read through the report like this and ultimately gauge your own type of takeaway around what's taking place at Tesla, the leadership there, and specifically Elon Musk, and what the board and other investors should be thinking about this person as a leader, what goes through your mind?
So I think it's fair to say that there is no class on corporate governance that would hold up taking drugs with your CEO as a model of board independence, right? Like that's a bad sign. You shouldn't be doing that. But the broader question is the board's central argument for what they did, right? Is that they believe, either implicitly or explicitly, that Elon is a kind of once-in-a-generation business genius, and you need to give him whatever he wants to keep him happy, and if you do, it's worth it. That is the central thrust of their decision-making. And look, you can believe that. That is not a crazy thing to believe, whether or not you agree with it. You can believe that and still think that they made a mistake. And the reason we care so much about these issues about corporate governance, about maintaining independence, it's not just about legality. It's not just about process. It's that there is no such thing as a person so brilliant that they're not made better by having people around them who can challenge their ideas and test them and stop them from making mistakes in the worst case, right?
So I'm not sure what our friend here is suggesting. It seems that he's implying that Musk doesn't have people around him willing to provide criticism, to challenge his ideas, that Musk himself doesn't consistently encourage and welcome criticism. Now, it is true, the guy has an iron will, but he's very receptive to feedback, willing to admit his own mistakes, roast himself in some of the dumb decisions he's made. The implication here sounds as if he's suggesting that there isn't a single person around Elon Musk who'll do anything except get on their knees and swallow. This is false. Now, it's true. Musk does have a lot of support from many senior folks at Tesla, but that's what you'd want. Support he's earned, trust he's earned. Just strange commentary here. At least the implications are a little bit bizarre. Now, it is very important to understand a person with strong convictions, self-belief, adamant on certain decisions and paths, can simultaneously be open to valid criticism and feedback and changing directions. This is exactly what you want in a leader. The last thing you want, probably exemplified by the leadership at Toyota right now, is, quote, leaders who are gigantic fucking vaginas, sentient vaginas, who do nothing but bend to the will, the feedback, the thoughts and opinions of every single person involved in any form of decision-making ever. It's my belief that a lot of people misinterpret Musk being a man of strong conviction for being a guy who can't take feedback or criticism. I mean, hello? Just look at the results. Do you really think these are the results of somebody who's living in a bubble, surrounded by yes men, yes women, Would SpaceX be dominating launch? Starlink scaling at an unprecedented rate? Tesla killing it? X slaying it? Phenomenal user growth despite the company supposedly going to be blowing up and being doomed, and Elon doesn't know what... Come on, bro.
Person does not exist. You might believe that Elon Musk is the greatest business leader in the 21st century. You might believe he's the greatest since John D. Rockefeller. It does not matter. So, for example, Albert Einstein, right? Sort of our byword for genius, the most brilliant scientist of the last era. Albert Einstein was wrong about plenty of things, and other scientists pushed back on him and said, no, I don't think this is right. And science was better because you had that process. A board that is so dependent on its CEO and so closely tied to its CEO that it cannot do that is a board that is, in a real sense, not serving the CEO, certainly the shareholders, but it's not even helping the CEO be his or her best because it's not performing that critical function.
Yeah, going off of what you were just saying there, in terms of that recent behavior, the fact that Elon Musk acted and his behavior has shown certain patterns here of the past, has he made it essentially impossible then, it sounds like maybe potentially here, for the board to do its job?
I mean, it sounds like he has, and this is a common pattern, right? This is not like any enormously successful leader has a huge tendency to surround themselves with people who will just agree with that. It just happens throughout history, right?
Strong disagree here. I don't know what this guy's talking about. Now, I know he's going to bring up some historical examples, but again, I have to make the distinction. A strong leader is somebody with strong convictions, a track record to justify those convictions, yet somebody who's still open to feedback and criticism and does take that on board. We heard not too long ago, for example, that Musk was adamant that Tesla's next generation vehicle would be built without a steering wheel, without pedals, solely for autonomy. It wasn't until he received pushback from people within Tesla, senior people in Tesla, that he thought, you know what, we can make variations. We'll make one to sell to consumers that does have the steering wheel and pedals and an dedicated autonomous version. If Musk was surrounded by people that just say, yes, boss, great idea, boss, this wouldn't have happened. Does it currently be ramping up production on a dedicated robotaxi? I mean, there are countless examples of this stuff. I don't understand. Is it just people mistaking somebody with strong convictions, courage, somebody willing to do things differently for somebody who doesn't take feedback and criticism? Hello? It's quite obvious that Musk loves criticism and feedback. The guy's constantly posting about this on X. He says it's a great source of negative feedback. He says it also keeps the ego in check. I mean, this is so bizarre. But please tell us more, Mr. Academic. Let's ignore the results, the evidence to the contrary. Plenty of it, by the way, in Walter Isaacson's Elon Musk biography, and instead insinuate that Musk is surrounded by people who will only ever say yes and agree. What the fuck, dude?
Alexander the Great did that. Napoleon did that. There's nothing new about that. The reason that we have these laws and these structures is because of those tendencies, so that we can sort of try and counteract them systemically, because it's so hard to do it at the individual level. So yeah, so I would be, like this, it is not a criticism of what Elon has done at Tesla and SpaceX or any number of other places to say that he would be better if he had other people around him who could help him become better.
Well, when we talk about the fact that obviously he is really impacting the culture of it, especially if, it's important to point out, these are just reports or allegations, I should say, from the journal. But if in fact any of this is true, what does that then do for culture at the company, ability to hire some of that top talent within the industry?
So, I mean, it's really worrying. I mean, so just in the case of Tesla in particular, right? Tesla has already had, right, sort of lawsuits about safety issues in the factories. It's had lawsuits about racial incidents in the factories. Like, people work for Tesla, they work for SpaceX because they get this sense of mission, right? That they can do things, they think, there that they could not do anywhere else. And hey, I mean, like, SpaceX has cut the cost of putting something in orbit by a factor of about 27. Not 27%, it's cut it, divided it by 27. That's an incredible achievement, right? Tesla has made electric cars mainstream in a way that nobody would have thought possible before Tesla was existing. That's a huge achievement. But there are companies that have had huge achievements that don't last because they do not build institutions that allow them to build past the vision of singular leaders. And if I were at Tesla, I would be worried that might be happening here. And I would hope that the guy who has done so much to build the company would then be able to step back and say, hey, maybe I need some help here.
So in absence to this point of any type of oversight ruling or determining that Musk is unfit to lead, which it sounds like you at least believe there should be people to pull him aside, or at least some type of oversight that does say, or at least call into question or evaluation that fitness, where then would be the proceedings that you would look for from there?
Yeah. So first is, there is no leader so great that I don't think that they should have people like that, right? Stan McChrystal was in my opinion, the greatest American soldier since the Second World War. he had people like around him like that. There's just no question that you need people like that, no matter who you are, no matter how brilliant you are.
I mean, I agree. I'm just wondering, is he suggesting that this is not the case for Elon Musk? I'm kind of confused. So bizarre. Like, what do you think the fucking regular engineering meetings are at Tesla and SpaceX? Oh, man.
What that process might look like is, in particular, if Elon decides that he's going to try and move Tesla and re-register it from Delaware to Texas. So there are significant advantages to having a publicly held company registered in Delaware. Like the corporate law in Delaware is just better developed than it is anywhere else in the United States.
Of course, the biggest significant advantage of having a company incorporated in Delaware is the ability of a corrupt activist in judge's clothing to insult Tesla shareholders and rob somebody of justly earned compensation to the tune of tens of billions of dollars, just for political reasons. I mean, call me crazy, but let's just say hypothetically that somebody fucked you without consent, e.g. Delaware. Would you not be a bit stupid to then invite the same entity that fucked you without consent over for dinner? I mean, hello?
And my guess is that if he tries to do that, in particular, if he tries to do that where it's pretty transparently just a move to get himself this pay package again, first is that Delaware courts are likely to intervene.
The insinuation? I mean, he didn't even insinuate. He just said that the reason Musk would move Tesla, corporate structure, out of Delaware is financially motivated. Bro, again, if somebody fucks you without consent and you have the option of never encountering that entity again, potentially an entity that might fuck you without consent again, you'd have to be insane not to exercise that option. This is just madness, bro. Is it just me? Let me know in the comments below. Somebody fucks you without consent. You know, I can't say the word, I'll probably get banned from YouTube. Do you A, invite them around for a nice romantic dinner tomorrow? Or B, press charges and or do whatever it takes to ensure you are safe from that occurring again? Jesus.
And stop that from happening. But second, remember that the majority shareholders in Tesla are not Elon and his friends. They are institutional investors. And institutional investors are likely to view that with skepticism. In no sense is that saying that Elon is unfit to lead. I want to be clear, that's not what I said. Mm-hmm. What I said is that no matter how good you think he is, he could be better if he had people around him who could stand up to him.
Says the professor about the guy who's created more value in the public markets than any human in history. Also, again, insinuating that there are not people around Musk to provide feedback. I mean, what is he smoking? Where is this narrative coming from? Musk's core competency is engineering. Surely you don't need more than a few brain cells to realize that if your core competency is engineering and you work with the world's best engineers to engineer products and you're unwilling to take any feedback or criticism at all from the people surrounding you, you will not be able to produce products that are commercially successful and ramp them up at volume and sell them. You won't be able to disrupt industries. What the fuck, dude?
Making that argument here over the last several days. Gautam Mukunda, thank you so much.
Bro, you know what? I think I can sum this one up quite succinctly. Fake news gets views. Tesla also gets views, and so too Elon Musk. So what if you combine Tesla plus Elon Musk plus fake news? Well, I mean, you get maximum views, right? Now, everyone is entitled to their opinions, including the professor there. And my opinion is that the professor does not know what the fuck he's talking about. The narrative, the idea that Musk won't take feedback, that he's surrounded by people that won't push back is just ridiculous. Conflating a strong will, vision and courage with an unwillingness to accept feedback, to take on board criticism, just a potato error for potato brain. I challenge the professor. Have a conversation with Walter Isaacson, who shadowed Musk for a couple of years. Hey, Walter. I believe that Elon Musk does not take on board criticism or feedback. He's surrounded by yes men and yes women. Can you confirm or deny? Walter says, are you fucking brain dead, bro? Every meeting, he's asking for criticism. Can we do this better? What mistakes are we making? Anything we should change? Here's something dumb we did. What else was dumb are we doing? That was a mistake. This was a mistake. I mean, Isaacson literally in the book gives a great example. A hugely important decision where Musk wanted to immediately begin producing robotaxis, dedicated robotaxis without the steering wheel and pedal. People are pushing back like, what if autonomy is a bit late, bro? You might want a variation that's got steering wheel and pedals. Guess what? It happened. That doesn't mean there was resistance, but come on. And earlier we see Yahoo just proving that fake news gets views. Negativity. EV demand slowing down. Even the title of this montage from Yahoo Finance, by the way, I did not yet feature the worst of the FUD, which was included in this segment. I'll feature that in another video. It's so good. I've got to make that a separate one. The very title from this video, Tesla's struggling to start 2024. Oh, struggling, Tesla. Oh, like Tesla? Negative? Struggling is negative, right? Oh my God, I'm going to watch that. And then it just features a bunch of negative clips. Now, this transparent and admittedly effective effort from the fake finance news to get attention, the playbook is really simple. Talk about Tesla and Elon Musk constantly, Focus on negatives, get eyeballs, those eyeballs that are increasingly turning toward more interesting, reliable, and or credible sources of information, commentary, and opinion. And the more desperate you get, the less people watch, the more ridiculous and negative you have to become. It is definitely true, as we heard earlier in this clip, as Dan Ives observed. The negativity around Tesla is not quite, but getting close to peak levels. Now, I'm not saying that it can't get worse. I am just saying, historically speaking, apart from some periods in early to mid 2019, I don't really think I've seen it too much worse than this. It's probably on par or getting close to on par with 2019. That was the tail end of production hell, Tesla's burning billions, going bankrupt, etc., etc. Oh, also competition coming, still waiting for the competition to come and so on. So the media dying and desperate for those eyeballs as long as possible, in addition to the fact that Elon bad because Elon bought X and now people can freely discuss things as opposed to having information suppressed, especially that might influence the outcomes of presidential elections in the United States. P.S. What laptop? Gives me the very strong belief that throughout the rest of this year, leading into the 2024 US presidential election in particular, Musk and Tesla are going to be copying it from every direction from the media. If you thought it was bad now, you ain't seen nothing yet. Be warned. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, Snake Oil Salmon's sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro. When I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link at the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links at the pinned comment, see you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.